Hello, founders. I'm Jason W. Taylor, the president and founder of CodeLaunch. By now, you probably know me. You've seen our videos or our social media, and you know what we do. We produce a competition amongst tech startup founders and also amongst dev shop and professional software development teams, which come together for an event that showcases the best startups and the acceleration that the developers have made on their products. And the whole thing is to promote conscious capitalism and to demonstrate and exemplify the values of our parent company improving and to grow a community that impacts you, investors, technologists, and founders. And we've been doing that since 2013. And we have a significant amount of raise. I just happened to be working on that yesterday and this morning. So since 2013, we've helped a lot of startups accelerate their products. We've given out lots of prizes to the hackathon teams, and we've launched a bunch of great businesses. A handful of them are really going well. They don't need any more raise money. They're just growing their top line and bottom line and eventually going to exit. And we've had one exit. Well, the first exit was in 2024. And that's all done and checks have been written. So we're achieving our mission. And this video, the purpose is to explain to you how to prepare to apply to a CodeLaunch event. So, first thing, select an event that you are eligible for. Know the event schedule shown on the event page. And there's a handful of dates that are during the curation process. There's preliminary events which reveal who's advancing through the curation process. And then there's the event itself, the showcases of the finalists. And all that starts with the application deadline. So know those dates. That's your first key, and select an eligible event. So some of our events are for Canadian founders. Some of our events are for Mexico or Latam founders. Eventually, we will have events for other places too, and U.S. founders. So make sure that you apply to the event that you qualify to compete in, and that its dates are compatible with your business life and your personal life. Next, review the NDA. The NDA is linked on one of the event pages, and you can check it out. The purpose of the NDA is to protect the fear that some of our founders have that we're going to share or somehow allow their idea to get stolen by others. We're not in the business of that. We're in the business of helping startup founders accelerate their products and launch. We've never had a problem or even a conversation about a problem in this area, but we still provide that to provide you some assurance that we are not going to toss your pitch deck all over the internet. And this is between you guys and us. And so check that out. The next thing, review the semi-finalist agreement. It's also linked, probably right there next to the NDA agreement. Now, you don't have to worry about this unless you become a semifinalist. So when you apply, then you become accepted. And if you do well during the accepted challenges, you become a semifinalist. The semifinalist status is conditional upon you signing this agreement. So check that out. We'll talk about it more and the purpose of it in one or more of our curation videos. So we want you to do that and be comfortable with it. Next, your entire team should watch the series of curation videos together. It's important that you all know what's coming, what's required, the process, why you're doing it, why we do this, and so that you're all comfortable with being a CodeLaunch competitor and want to do it. And your whole team is bought in, whether that's one person, 2, 5, or 20. Usually it's somewhere in the middle. And we want you to understand the process of what you're getting into. And then back to the dates. The most important thing you need to know is the application due date. So our website is going to turn itself off, taking applications automatically sometime close to midnight on the due date. So you have all that day, but you need to click submit before midnight. I think we usually try to make that a couple hours after midnight to give people who are trying to click save at the very last second a little leeway. And so you should just plan on getting it done well before the drop dead deadline. And it's also very important to know about the video due date. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, continue watching. There's a whole video dedicated to the subject of the video. But a video is required, a short video, 60 to 90 seconds. And we'll explain it in a whole video about the video. And the video due date is not on the application date. It's approximately 4 days later. Your event page will explain the exact date. All you have to do is give us a URL to this video. You don't have to upload the actual video. Yeah, down the road, you might do that. But when you're applying, you just need to give us the URL. And we'll talk more about that. And the reason that the video day is a few days after the application day is because we know people are going to find out about CodeLaunch right close to the deadline for the event that is perfect for them. They're going to get to the CodeLaunch page and try to apply to CodeLaunch on the day it's due. They're not going to watch this video or the other curation videos. And then they're going to realize, what? I just submitted and now I have a video. It's 10 o'clock p.m. I want to go to bed. The applications are due in 2 hours. Now you've got 4 days to get the video back to us. And it's very important to create the video for us. So there you go. That's why there's 2 deadlines, an application due date, and a few days later, video due date. Now next, you need to know the costs of CodeLaunch. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you sweat and hustle. It's not going to cost you any equity that you don't want to relinquish. And it's not going to cost you any cash to enter our competition or to pay for things along the process. It will cost you to travel to the event if you become a finalist. So if you're applying to an event that you qualify for, but it's in a faraway state or city, and you go through the process and you become a finalist, we are going to have a hotel partner, but getting yourself and paying for that hotel and being at the event for the hackathon, the preliminary days right before the event and the event itself, that part is your responsibility. And we think it's important to participate with startup founders that do have the ability to bootstrap some marginal startup founder expense. If you are in a position where you cannot even afford to, let's say, travel from Denver to Dallas to experience CodeLaunch after you've been named a CodeLaunch finalist, then you're probably not the right startup founder for us. So we need people that can hustle together the funds, maybe from friends and family, supporters, sponsors, whatever. And we have a long history of people coming from all over the place. We even had a guy come from Portugal once to participate at CodeLaunch DFW in the year 2019. Next, you need to know our process. So you've already looked at the dates. You know the costs. You look at the agreements. You understand there's 2 deadlines. And you know which event to apply for. But you need to know the process that you're getting into. So once you apply, then there's the video deadline. We are going to review everything everyone has sent after the video deadline. And we're going to decide who to accept. If you're accepted, it'll be revealed at the acceptance reveal event and a live stream, which happens simultaneously. You can either attend or watch digitally. If you're a local, man, we want to meet you. We hope you will attend. Immediately, the moment that you've been announced as accepted, the homework phase has begun. and you are on a tight deadline at that point, usually 7 to 10 days, to document, execute, and level up through the homework process, which there's a whole video about homework. And then the homework has its due date. That's part of the due date schedule. That's part of the event schedule on the event page. All it is filling out a form and documenting your progress through the homework. And we'll talk more about that, but it's important. Once the deadline is passed for the homework, we review all of the homework and we decide who belongs in the semifinals. The semifinals is limited, usually a max of 24 to 27 startups will make the semifinalist stage. We will announce who those are and send them the agreement for e-sign. They will choose their pitch meeting preferences, date and times, sign the agreement. At that moment, they are a semifinalist. We put them in a pitch meeting, and we look forward to that pitch meeting. After all the pitch meetings, we develop a group of those startups which we believe are the best, and we call those the draft eligible. So we will have more teams in the draft than we have teams to draft on purpose, and that's so that the very last PCL hackathon team has a choice. We're not just stuck with the final startup that didn't get picked. Then there's the outcome of the draft. Those become finalists. So there's a draft pool, best of the semifinalists. Then some of those get drafted. Boom, they are finalists. They are on the stage. We are ready to rock and roll at CodeLaunch with those finalists. That's the process. It takes exactly 6.5 weeks from start to finish to get through that process. And so now, what do you need to apply? About 30 minutes of time. So if you've got 30 minutes, you're good to go. You're going to need a pitch deck in PDF format. We don't care how many slides this particular pitch deck is. Just whatever pitch deck you've been using, send it our way in PDF format, and mock-ups or really nice wireframes, UI, UX. So what if you don't have those? At times we have a UI, UX partner, which has a deal for our community to help them document, build, and some nice mock-ups that are code ready. If we don't have one when you're applying, you can leverage someone that you know, reach out to your community, try to get someone involved in your startup. This is good and healthy for you to do anyway. So if your software is pre-UI, try to get some UI, UX done. If you find out too late and you are pre-UI, UX startup product vision, I mean, it's very early, but people compete in CodeLaunch all the time that are, we call embryonic stage, or almost just at the idea still. Write that on a one-page PDF and upload that as your mock-ups. We will read it and consider it. Sometimes you may be accepted. Other times we may realize, this particular group needs to get it together and get their mock-ups before we're going to believe that they have the passion and the drive to run the startup, to be invested in, to execute and hustle. And there you go. That's enough about that. So the other thing, you're going to be asked questions about your team, the venture, its raise history, its product maturity, business metrics, if there are some, and a few other facts and that we need to know, contact information. So if you've gotten to this point, you are now officially ready to apply. There's nothing else I can tell you. So block out 30 minutes and get busy. We look forward to looking at your application and enjoying your cohort acceptance appeal video too. Thank you for considering CodeLaunch.